we'll start our afternoon sessions off with Where Change Becomes Delicious.
People want more from life.
More variety, more connection,
more fullness, more flavor.
And tastes, they're evolving.
And we're evolving.
Right along with them.
We're Compass Group.
You may know us by a different name.
We're a family of companies delivering meaningful moments through the power of food, hospitality, and facilities.
There's actually a chance we've met before.
Because we're everywhere.
Everywhere.
We're everywhere.
We actually are.
From cultural venues to colleges
to hospitals.
And the most extraordinary events in the world.
The Super Bowl, the Kentucky Derby, the Oscars, and the Grammys.
We've been there.
Or we're about to be.
And it's all due to our passionate people.
It's the passion and pursuit of our remarkable people
that drives us to do things, not only differently, but better.
We're fostering a culture of care where kindness counts and people come first.
We show up every day to exceed expectations.
Our growth, it's unequaled.
We never stop asking ourselves, what's next?
What's next?
What's next?
What's next?
And that allows us to do some pretty remarkable things.
Whether it's pushing the boundaries of technology
or revolutionizing sustainability practices.
Or pioneering cutting-edge data science
to enhance the customer experience.
We're doing good things through food.
We're sourcing local, reducing food waste, and promoting well-being.
We're tackling the challenges of tomorrow.
We're leading the charge.
And we're leading the change.
We're bringing people together to make life richer and fuller.
Our approach is one of a kind.
No two facilities are the same.
One size fits all doesn't work.
Does not work.
We put our clients and customers first.
We bring a customized approach to your business.
To help you serve your customers.
Your patients.
Your students.
Your staff.
Your residents.
Your colleagues.
And your fans.
And while we serve a lot of people.
And a lot of food.
A lot of great food.
We're driven to create food that is alive.
We also provide crucial support services.
Like facilities maintenance, cleaning, and groundskeeping.
To keep your spaces looking great.
And running smoothly.
We'll never stop.
We'll never stop growing.
We never stop growing.
Challenging ourselves.
Or getting smarter.
Simply said, we're never complacent.
Never complacent.
Never complacent.
We're never complacent.
We are Compass Group.
We're Compass Group.
We are Compass Group.
We are Compass Group.
Please welcome our moderator, Ann Sheridan, Vice President of Communications, Compass Group, Amy Keister, Global Director of Sustainability, Compass Group, and Ed Brown, CEO of Restaurant Associates.
Thank you. We weren't really sure if we would have a crowd at all after lunch, so thank you for joining us. We wanted to share a little bit about who we are at Compass Group, and one thing I wanted to start with is the fact that we serve 14 million meals every day. So you have to imagine we have a lot of conversations with our clients about food costs, and we take those conversations very seriously. We're happy to say that our food costs are helped by the fact that we honor and have always honored sustainability and tried to mitigate food waste to the best of our ability. So we're super focused on that because, like I said, it is important to our clients. And joining me today are two of my favorite people, actually, at Compass. Ed Brown is the CEO of RA. First and foremost, though, Ed was a chef, and I'll do a little bragging on Ed. He has earned a Michelin star and 14 stars from the New York Times. So a chef first is what I would say. His sustainability journey began on a dock here in New York City. And we have a picture of Ed as a younger chef. When other chefs were throwing back what they call the bycatch on those docks, Ed made the sustainable decision back then, and an innovative one, a brave one, I would say, to keep that bycatch, correct? Yeah. And he's going to tell you a little bit about that. But it certainly shaped who he is today, and it was a business decision back then and still influences him today. And then Amy Keister is the Global Director of Sustainability for Compass Group. Her journey actually began, and we have a picture of this. It began actually in her grandmother's garden in her grandmother's home. So there's Amy with her grandmother, and then Amy's daughter with her as well. Everything her grandmom did was about respecting food and using everything, and it influenced her. And I wanted to share those stories with you because although we're a large company, the people who are leading our efforts have roots in sustainability. So Ed, I'll start with you. That fishing dock story, it says a lot. I'm wondering how the early days, for you as a chef influenced what you do now as a CEO.
Sure. So first of all, thanks for the intro and good to be here with all of you today. That story was more about, it was the first restaurant that I opened inside of Restaurant Associates, which is end of 1989, 1990, and seafood restaurant, and I wanted to differentiate what we were doing. How was it going to be special? And I found a guy who used to be a commercial fisherman who went into the business of procuring fish from those same fishermen and bringing it from the docks into us in New York City. And he said, there's all these, I said, I need interesting fish. Everybody has tuna and salmon and cod and fluke and all the usual stuff. How do I get different stuff? He said, well, we should buy their bycatch. They don't use it anyway. I'm like, what is that? And he said, if they're out fishing for cod, everything else that comes up on the deck is bycatch. And when they sort through it, whatever's left, swept back into the ocean, usually doesn't survive. So what a waste. My original intention was to buy that fish as a unique differentiator, to have fish that people have never seen or heard of, because a lot of it I had to make names up for. But it ended up being a great sustainability story. I have expanded that over the years and used that example for sustainability, and it happens to be a business story as well.
Yeah, and as a chef, though, you really were innovative. You now are teaching chefs to look for those same ideas in sustainability. My question to you is, the story of the humble carrot is one of your tools that you use to teach chefs. So tell us a little bit about the humble carrot.
Every cook and chef can relate to a carrot, right? We use them all day long. And when I say, okay, you take a carrot and you cut off the tip and you cut off the root end and then you peel it, nobody's disagreeing with that. That's what we do. Meanwhile, 25–30% of that carrot just went to waste before we even did anything with it. The amount of energy, resource, time, effort that it takes to grow a carrot, resources from the soil, water, etc., machinery to farm it, you've just wasted 30% before you've even begun to potentially use that carrot. And what could we do to eliminate that? And we've done a lot of training on what we can do with those parts so that they're utilized and get a lot more out of those carrots and to then prevent waste, which is really our goal, is not only getting the most out of every product that comes from Mother Nature, but producing the least amount of possible waste.
And you measure.
We measure. Amy might talk a little bit more about Waste Not, but we have a measuring platform called Waste Not, where all the wet waste is measured in every kitchen every day and recorded, and required by every chef is required to participate in that program. And in fact, that's a business decision. It's part of their compensation.
I know you love those stories. You love to hear them as the Global Director of Sustainability. Your story began early, like I said, with your grandmother. And I'm wondering, how did she influence you in what you're doing today on a huge platform?
Yeah, I was very fortunate. My grandma just recently passed, just 2 weeks shy of 109. And she was mentally with it to the end and has been my best mentor and advisor. And growing up in the Great Depression, food was really scarce and really expensive. And she taught me that food is precious. And as you mentioned, she grew everything. And so I learned how to can, how to make jams, jellies. But my favorite was picking the apples on the apple tree and learning how to make an apple pie. I think the art of pie making, especially with dough, is going by the wayside. So I'm excited she had the opportunity to pass it down to my daughter as well. But what I loved with the pie was my grandma made really, really good pies, and everyone loved to eat them. But she made the most exciting part, the scraps, where you'd put a little bit of butter, cinnamon, and sugar, and she'd be like, that's Grandpa's favorite cookies. And so now you're taking a byproduct waste, and it's now the favorite part. It wasn't my grandpa's favorite cookie, but just the way that she branded it that way, and just the mentality that anything can be reused, and that it's precious and you need to value it. So really excited in our role to work with incredible chefs like Ed, who believe the same passion, and we started a global moment. Next year, it'll be the 10th anniversary of Stop Food Waste Day. It's celebrated in 60 countries by hundreds of millions of folks, because no one wants to waste food, but it's still, people aren't even aware of the impact of it. And so really, really excited that we have our chefs championing our waste reduction. We have over 10,000 locations tracking consistently, and we're seeing year over year a 10% reduction. And these are chefs that are good at reducing waste, and they're still continually raising the bar. And it's because it's just who we are, and it's truly ingrained in our culture.
It became a movement, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But a lot of also what you do, our clients expect it too. So I want to keep going back to what our clients are looking for from us, and how we deliver for them.
Absolutely. So very, very proud of what we do at Compass, but many of you probably never heard of Compass. And what gets me most excited is we can partner with some incredible, incredible organizations such as Javits. So hopefully you guys enjoyed your delicious lunch done by the Cultivated team, and a lot of, in the bowls, the produce, everyone loves local. Well, this is hyper, hyper local. It came up from the rooftop. So absolutely delicious produce being used, and it's that storytelling and where the food comes from and that preciousness, and it's absolutely delicious. Also, they have the honey from their bees, and I just think we're able to, when we work with a lot of large Fortune 500 companies, where sustainability of decarbonizing data centers isn't very sexy, but supporting a local farmer, having delicious food, having new vegetables prepared different ways that you haven't had, all which is good for you, good for the planet, really just delights our clients and allows us to go bigger and bolder with them.
And along with our clients, they also want us to partner with experts. And we do partner with some experts maybe that these folks would like to hear about.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I love events like this week, because you get to meet real experts. I'm more self-taught. When I was in school, that wasn't a thing to be leading sustainability for a large organization. And so we really pride ourselves on making sure when we say something, it's actually right, and it's right in the best way. Dana Gunders, hopefully you've had the pleasure of meeting her, or at least hearing her talk this week with ReFed. She's who Congress calls to set the food waste and loss policy. She's also who advises Compass. She's been a great supporter of Stop Food Waste Day. In the seafood space, we have Ed, but we also partner closely, and hopefully you went to his dinner, I think it was Tuesday night, Barton Seaver, National Geographic, very, very passionate advocate, and he's been able to bring to us, call up Ed, say, hey, we got this great bycatch. Catfish is a great one in Virginia, absolutely delicious, and it's an invasive species, so why wouldn't we want to use it? And so to ensure that we're doing the right thing, we rely on the experts in science.
Ed, I started with you about loving being a chef first. What I'd like to know, though, is your efforts now with RA. How do they grow beyond RA?
Well, I think that us leading by example, and first of all, RA is part of Compass, and there's 24 sectors here in North America. And so even if I'm just using that influence just inside of Compass, it's a big swath of the nation. But even publicly, we're very public about our sustainability initiatives. And it's not coming from me as the CEO of a company, it's coming from me as a chef who has street cred in New York City and around the country, and demonstrating that better for you, better for the planet, doing the right thing. It's still about making delicious food, but keeping in mind that we are in the restaurant business. This is not the restaurant hobby, and it requires money to continue, and it's harder and harder to make money in this business. Here's a way where you can help your bottom line while doing the right thing. Those things are not mutually exclusive, which many people in the past have thought were. Continuing to push forward and lead by example is how it happens.
Yeah, we're a large company, but for people who are here listening today, how do you bring people along on the journey? Because, I mean, it's remarkable how you've been able to do that, but what do you think is key to bringing people along?
I think key to bring people along is also including suppliers and even at the retail level, things that we don't think about. You can vote with your dollars, whether you're purchasing for a company or whether you're going to the grocery store, you vote with your dollars. And things like packaging. If you go to the store to buy strawberries and they only pack them at 8 strawberries in a pack, you're buying 8 strawberries. But if you really only wanted 4 strawberries, now you've bought 4 strawberries plus 4 that are probably going to go rotten in your fridge, and you're probably going to throw them out. And that's a very exaggerated but common example of how packaging affects sustainability and waste, and extrapolate that to all the things that are in a grocery store, but 100,000x that at the commercial level. If we buy a case of zucchini, it's a case of zucchini. If you're a small restaurant that needs 4 pieces of zucchini, it's very difficult to do that in a sustainable way economically. But you end up having so much things in your restaurants that are just not needed because that's how they come packed. And so voting with your dollars, telling your suppliers, we spend a lot of time telling our suppliers what we want because we have a large voice with our suppliers. And, we remind them that we can take our business elsewhere, and we usually get them to come along.
Mm-hmm. Amy, what about you? How have you influenced and brought people along?
Yeah, I think you need to start with the why. Like, that's where I love when Chef Ed talks about the humble carrot, and everyone has like an early food memory, and just going back to that, I just think is really how you can bring them on. Another one that I just really love a lot is our Grow With Us program. And so right now, and it's been really motivating for our chefs. As I talked earlier, people love local, but we also want to make sure that we're supporting specifically now very, very small farmers. They don't have a big safety net, and if there's a drought or too much rain, or what if they produce the okra earlier than the restaurants are looking for it, it could cost them their entire farm and their livelihood. And we're really excited about the program we created, working directly, having our chefs work directly with the farmer to understand the growing season and allow some flexibility. So if the okra, the sweet potato, the green beans are a week earlier or a week later, that's okay, we're still gonna buy them. They're absolutely delicious, and these small farmers are so grateful that they're able to expand. They can buy another tractor, and I just think that's the American dream, and we're really, really proud at Compass that we're able to work with big suppliers, but also support the very small farmers that really need our support at this time.
I'd imagine you do the same thing with within RA here in the city, with the local farmers.
Yeah, so local is a big part of our program. I mean, we're in 25, 30 cities across the country, but our largest density is here in the New York region. And, we started out by trying to have a connection with all these different farms. And what we did was instead enlist our largest produce vendor to continue those relationships on our behalf. And they go and pick up from them and bring to us collectively. Mm-hmm. So we've also, we like to say, we want our farmers to remain farmers and not truck drivers. Mm-hmm. And so we have our distributor going to these farms that we want to work with, giving them the business. They need to concentrate on growing and harvesting. We'll send somebody to pick it up, but that's our central aggregate food produce vendor who then distributes it to us all over New York City.
Nice. As we wrap up, I want to ask you, as our Director of Sustainability, what are you most proud of, the impact?
What I'm most proud of is that it's not a sustainability strategy, it's a chef strategy, it's a finance strategy, it's a business strategy, that it truly is who we are at Compass, and it just makes me so proud when we're at our scale. If every meal can just be a little bit better, the impact is tremendous, and just really, really grateful for the partnerships with our leadership team, our culinarians, and our suppliers. But it's just part of who we are.
I want to thank both of you. I always love listening to your stories, and I want to thank all of you too. We have never backed away from our promise, but we've also never backed away from wanting to learn more. And so a week like this, where we get to learn from all of you as well, is a treat for all of us. And we appreciate all the work that hopefully we can all do collectively. So thank you. Thank you for being here with us.